Welcome everybody back to A&M in the AM episode 26. I'm just gonna start off the video with what we just saw there. So
It's
Trevor
so
Lawrence, it's been the joke that if the Jets get the number one pick, Trevor Lawrence is gonna say, "Oh, I'm going back to college," because he still has a year of eligibility. He's only a junior, right? I think junior.
Yeah.
He'd have to be. And on NFL or ESPN College Football just tweeted out. Trevor Lawrence is leaving the door open about his options. And this was what Trevor Lawrence was quoted to say. My mindset has been, I'm going to move on. But who knows? There's still a lot of things that could happen.
I think it's very funny because we've been joking about it as is the whole world, but now that he's mentioned it himself and gone on record to be quoted, I think it's even funnier.
And I think he's either gonna do that and not go, or just talk to the Jets straight up and be like, listen, if you draft me, you trade me.
If you draft me, you give me $30 million and don't make me ever play a game in your system.
Or no, you give me $30 million and I get to pick I get to be the GM and head coach. But yeah, that's funny that he finally came out and said something about it. Moving right on to still college football, we had Michigan dominant win over Minnesota.
Pairing them up. We said low scoring, we said tight here, but I think deep down we both kind of felt a blowout.
See, deep down, we both obviously wanted and knew there was going to be a blowout, but you have to give Minnesota the benefit of the doubt. I mean, obviously Bateman showed that he was decent enough and he was good. He had 90 yards, I think.
But the thing is, last year, the reason why he was hyped up so much, he averaged 20 yards per catch last year. On Saturday, he averaged 4.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the
because he was locked up because they finally again played competition, like we had said. It was Jackson Hill at some points and Vincent Gray.
Bateman 9 yards. He averaged 11.2 per catch.
Oh, it's because he got those 2 big catches at the end. Then it really messed up the averages. Because for the entire game until the fourth, he was at 4 point.
One thing that really stuck out in this game that I don't think many people thought was going to. They thought obviously the passing game was going to shine. The running game for both teams shined, and not only because Minnesota's running back, he had 26 carries, 140. Michigan had 256 yards as a total team. Obviously. Milton had 52 yards.
Milton had some himself. Was going crazy.
Haskins. You said Charbonnet. I was high on Haskins.
I liked them both, but I thought my favorite is still going to be Charbonnet, and just the fact that they showed that they had 4 legit guys that can be called on at any time.
And Evans. I mean, he looked decent.
And Corum is so fast. The freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew he was, and that's why he's so small. But I know you were working, but
I was watching the game.
Oh, okay.
I was watching the game.
At times when Corum and Charbonnet were standing next to Milton, it was just it was like Spud Webb sitting next to Yao Ming. Mm-hmm. It was he was enormous compared to them. I mean, he's as big as it is, but goodness gracious.
I was gonna say another really bright spot was Ben Mason. He really,
as usual.
He had to adjust his role this year, kind of.
He's really the heart and soul of the team. He's done something different every year and has thrived just because of how he is.
It seems like he's going to be a pivotal part of that team this year. And keeping on Michigan before we switch to some other Big Ten games here. Joe Milton now favored 6th in Heisman.
And he's actually technically he'd be 4th because he's tied with Najee Harris and the other guy that's ahead of him. They're all tied for the same favorites.
I would say I'd go try to look on your page, but that'd take forever to show.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I
thought I saved it, but if I saved it, I can tell you. But
yeah, so then other upsets throughout the Big Ten, we had Indiana beating Penn State on, you could say, controversial. I mean, I don't know. It's so hard to determine if that was down or not. If the ball the ball did touch the ground, but it was still kind of in bounds. Yeah, it was a really weird situation on how that ball went down.
I mean, I'll take it.
I mean, yeah, me too. But I was watching the replay and I was like, real time. I was like, real time, yeah, that's a touchdown. But I was like, then if you're watching it back, you don't have any evidence that that's down or that's a touchdown. So I was like, you gotta go with your real time. I was like, you can't reverse it if there's no evidence that it was not what it was.
Because what they originally called it no good, didn't they?
Originally.
Oh, they did? Okay, so
Or,
yeah, they would have had to really see to overturn it, and you could go both ways. But the thing
they would
is,
have had to have undisputable evidence that it was not a score.
The pylon must have not had a camera on the front, because I feel like that was the camera you would go to.
I don't think college football has pylon cameras.
They have them on the sides.
Oh, they do?
I think. Maybe not. I swear I've seen them get used.
Oh, I don't know.
But I found those odds.
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence is number 1. Justin Fields is number 2. Mac Jones is 3. And then Najee Harris, Zach Wilson, and Joe Milton are all tied. I don't know who Zach Wilson is, but I'm assuming he's a quarterback somewhere.
I want to say he's that guy from Dallas or whatever the school I've been talking about. That whenever they bring up college QBs going to the draft, I always bring up that name or a guy that I saw early in the season that was a very high high in the Heisman rankings that didn't look familiar to me.
I just want to point out though that everybody's favorite Spencer Rattler is at 10 now, and Tanner Morgan is at 15.
Okay, Tanner Morgan, he looked good, but not that amazing.
Also want to point out that the 2 guys that Michigan could have had are both tied in Milton and Najee Harris. Najee Harris decided to go to Alabama last minute. But I mean, like I said,
I always forget that, and it's that's hard.
Like I said to my dad, though, like with the room that they have now, it might not hurt anymore.
Yeah.
But in the short term, originally, yeah.
Wait, what'd you say that other Mac Wilson, or what was his name?
Mac Lewis? No, that's a different. It is Mac Jones. He's the Alabama quarterback.
No, there was something Wilson. He was lower on the list.
Oh, Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson. I just want to see where this guy's from and see if I'm right. Wilson, American QB. Oh, BYU. Okay.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's somewhere small, random that's just putting up numbers because they don't play anybody. But I mean, also speaking of not playing anybody, everybody in that top 10 hasn't played anybody except for Milton. Clemson hasn't played anybody. Ohio State hasn't played anybody. Alabama hasn't played anybody. BYU probably hasn't played anybody then.
Alabama has played people.
But they never do, and neither does Clemson.
Alabama has played. Let me pull up their schedule here real fast.
I saw Clemson's getting ready to play Georgia Tech Boston. One of the Boston schools. I don't think it's Boston College. Maybe it is. It's like Boston State.
You can give it to Alabama because they've played. Okay, I'm just going to go through the list of people that have played and just wait till they am.
Besides Tennessee, because Tennessee's garbage.
Missouri, Texas A&M, who was ranked 13.
Okay.
Ole Miss, who ran up the score on them. They scored 48. Georgia, who was ranked 3 at the time. And then then Tennessee, obviously.
I'm surprised they've played like that many decent teams this early then, because they never do. Well, they play like 2 ranked teams all year.
It's because the whole conference thing.
Yeah.
And then they play LSU, which is, you could say, I don't even know because they're not even ranked anymore.
LSU's not? Oh, yeah, because did they lose?
Yeah, they're 2-2.
Jeez.
And then they play Auburn, always a tough game there. Auburn's not their last game of the year. I don't like that. I don't like Auburn not being their last game of the year.
I mean, either way, they'll probably be a top 5.
They're going to be undefeated. They're going to be undefeated. But then let's take a look at this last Big Ten game here. We had Rutgers versus Michigan State. And
I mean, really, did it come to a surprise of anyone? I mean, maybe you could have said they were going to tie or something, but was anybody really surprised that would happen? Because Michigan State was already projected to go 0-8. So
here's what it was. I was like, okay, it's Rutgers. I was like, this will be Michigan State's one win. Give them some confidence. They're gonna lose majority of their rest of their.
They were gonna go 1-7, but now it's 0-8.
Yeah, I don't even know. Mel Tucker's his name, right?
Yeah.
Their head coach. I don't even know why they hired him.
There's some quotes going on Twitter today that said he was talking about. He said that the team up north, forgetting that Ann Arbor's south of Lansing, also refuses to say the word Michigan when it's in his team name.
Does he think he's coaching Ohio State?
Yeah, and he also said that they're not going to use the M like Ohio State does when they do that dumb crap. So he said he's going to go by L. Tucker, and at their school is SU. Guy's awkward. The guy's just awkward. That's all I can tell you.
I don't even know how to respond to that one. That is weird. That's weird. So yeah, let's just talk about that. Michigan versus Michigan State on Halloween. I mean, say what you want. That it's gonna be. I know we're gonna blow them out, but it's gonna be exciting.
I didn't watch any of their game.
Mm-hmm.
They
did not look good.
Nobody
whatsoever.
would care to. But after hearing that they had 9 turnovers and knowing that Michigan held them to 90 yards of offense like 2 years ago, last year or 2 years ago, something like that. Mm-hmm. And this team being even worse. It's not outlandish. I'm going 60-0.
You think we could see it like murder on television?
Yeah, and on Halloween. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not at night, which would have been even more amazing. But, I mean, maybe a pity field goal if you want.
Where is it being played at?
Michigan. It's at home, so it's even.
That would have been even better under the lights at the big house.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. You got, like, Halloween music blasting from outside. Like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, opportunity's been fumbled like Michigan State did a lot of. But I did see that they said Spartan Stadium is now going to be rented out for a Spirit Halloween. So
they can make their money back.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if you want to give them a pity field goal, 60-3, but we're going big here. Yeah, we went 24-17 last week. At least I did.
Yeah, we both gave Minnesota 17.
I'm thinking at least it's got to be at least 50 because they put up 49 in Minnesota.
Might sound outlandish here. So what's the back?
Are you going Ohio State treatment going 70?
What's the?
Because I originally said that.
What's the backup quarterback that got in last game?
Cade McNamara.
It gets so bad. Dan comes in.
It's not.
Dan comes in.
We'll see Joe throughout the third quarter, and if he doesn't play in the fourth, it's all Cade. It's Cade season.
No, it's
we're not
Dan's
giving
season.
Joe false, or we're not Joe, but we're not giving Dan. Well, yeah, Joe too, but we're not giving Dan false hope.
It's Dan's season.
Dan will never see the field in a Michigan uniform in his life.
I'm saying 72-7.
You giving him a touchdown?
Pity touchdown, fourth quarter.
Even like Michigan's third stringers are probably better than Michigan State's starters.
Pity touchdown versus our fifth stringers that they bring up for one game. That that like the people that aren't on the active roster.
Yeah, because you know that they're going to be out trying to hurt guys. Oh, they already accepted that it's probably going to be a rough game. They're going to be out trying to hurt somebody. That's what it usually is for them.
Another big game that this coming on Saturday, which I'm actually like how they did this. They did Penn State and Ohio State. Mm-hmm. Even though Penn State just got upsetted. And honestly, say what you want. Ohio State, yes, they won by a decent amount. They did not look good in that first quarter.
First half was tight until halftime.
And because Nebraska was running that 2 QB set with, I always forget, Martinez, right? Or I don't know their starting quarterback. But Luke McCaffrey, he looks good.
Mm-hmm.
He actually looks good. And, I mean, I think from what I've heard is that he's going to be their starting QB now. So
I would imagine, but it's going to be tough sailing for them either way. It would be nice if Penn State came back with some vengeance and somehow won that game, but I don't know. I mean, it might be close. I mean, if it would have been at Penn State and there was a whiteout and everything, I'd say it's going to be very close. But
it's
no fans, no matter where it's at. Like,
we play Ohio State last game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's at Ohio.
Okay. I mean,
with the equalizer with no fans. So either it's a blowout in front of nobody or it's a win in front of nobody.
Well, here's the thing. Jesus Christ. Looking at Michigan's schedule, it's just getting harder and harder. I just looked at it.
They have the hardest in the Big Ten.
Yeah, because we have Indiana next week, then Wisconsin, and then Rutgers, and then Penn State, and then Maryland, and then Ohio State.
That's what happens when you play in the West instead of the East. No, sorry, I think I said that wrong.
Wait.
That's what happens. All I'm meaning to say is that's what happens when you play in the good side of the division.
Low key, a Blizzard game versus Ohio State.
Oh, that's what they said. Everybody wants that. A snow game. Snow Milton. They already coined it Snow Milton.
No, I want it.
Believe me, this has already been in motion.
I don't even want like snowflakes. I want 2000. I might be quoting this game wrong. 2014 Eagles versus Lions snow game where Kelvin Johnson got up, where they literally were running in about 5 inches of snow. Kelvin Johnson got up and half of his face mask was just a big chunk of snow and he could only see on one eye. And he was just like trying to shake it off of his head. That's what I want. I want a blizzard.
I do want to point out though, we did say that we did buy into the awkward hype of the snow, or not the snow, but the cold affecting Joe. It seemed as though nobody was affected by that.
Yeah, I don't think the snow really. I think it was all gone by then.
Yeah, which we had said. That's what we were wondering about. But also, like they said that he shouldn't be affected by it because he's been here the past 3 years. He didn't leave Michigan the entire time during the break. So like, and he's been working with Devin Gardner and I guess Pep Hamilton, who I heard is the guy who's with the Chargers. He was with Michigan, but he's the guy that I guess has been helping Herbert with the Chargers.
And Herbert's looking. I mean, I know you don't follow that really close, but Herbert's.
I only knew that from Twitter.
Herbert's looking like probably. Well, obviously Joe Burrow just had his game, but Herbert's looking like one of the best steals out of that draft so far in the top there for not starting his first 2 games.
I know we projected him to do big things in the Minnesota game, but I went ahead and threw Ronnie Bell onto the thumb in hopes that he actually gets some targets this time.
Yeah, I'll say Ronnie, but
I did have him getting 2 touchdowns last game, and I think he had like 2 catches altogether.
It looks like, yes, Michigan they've had like rushing quarterbacks. They've had Shea. Obviously, Shea was a scrambler.
Shea was neither.
Like, we really haven't had and I'm not even saying like, we haven't really had a rushing QB
since Denard.
Since Gardner.
I was gonna say a combo was Gardner, and he was the best quarterback they've had.
But so Joe is a rushing quarterback, and I feel like Harbaugh really.
Well, he's pass first. He's rush if he needs to.
But it seemed like they rushed
frame and everything. And
and that's where I think the cold did affect the game is they didn't pass as much because I think they were scared that like obviously your hands are going to get cold in that situation. Because if you look at the stats, they did not pass that much last week.
Well, yeah, and also but it's not like he was throwing bad passes or anything. It's just like
I'm not.
They knew that they could run all over them.
I'm not saying they are, but like with Joe, they have the ability to run because he can run.
Yeah, it spreads it out. Actually, Urban Meyer said that he's the best spread quarterback that Michigan's had in years. He adds more than
Michigan
anybody else.
25 times and ran the ball 31 times.
Yeah, and that's like how we said they had 4 running backs getting them all the snaps though, 2 at the same time, and that really helped them.
Who was the 4th one?
It was Charbonnet, Haskins.
Oh yeah, Turner didn't get
Evans, and
what happened to Turner?
Corum. I don't know.
Because I thought he got that first big rush play at the very beginning. At like the first play of the game, I thought he had that first big rush play, but I guess that wasn't him.
No, it was probably Charbonnet. Charbonnet had the touchdown, that 70-yarder.
I forget who it was. Let me see real fast. Play-by-play.
I don't even know who Turner is.
Oh, right here. 4 plays, 4 yards. Oh, it was Corum. It was
okay.
He had a catch out of the backfield.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I think for games this weekend, let me see if there's any big top 25 games at all. I don't think so. Other than
Well, it would have been Penn State and Ohio State.
well, I mean, that's where game day's going, but
Yeah,
um,
that's probably it. Unless there's like one other.
yeah, not really. No, there really isn't any other ones. Um, yeah, no, no. I mean, I'm making a push for Marshall and Coastal Carolina national championship right now.
In NCAA 14.
No, in real life,
Oh, well,
Marshall is 19th, and Coastal Carolina is 20th. So I'm saying they're
jeez.
making their push up to the top together.
All these randoms are getting into the top 25 this year because nobody's played as many games as them.
I'm just saying, just wait. It's gonna be the Final Four is gonna be Michigan, Marshall, Coastal Carolina, and Bama, and Michigan and Bama are gonna get upsetted, and
I wouldn't be surprised there. I'd be surprised if Michigan made it there at first, but then also wouldn't be surprised if they got upset by Coastal Carolina.
no, because Coastal Carolina is the only team in NCAA history, and I might be wrong on that. That's just what I've seen. But to roll out an entire offensive line under 6'2".
I mean, it means that they're fast and athletic then.
They have a 5'9", 300-pound
Goodness
center.
gracious. I know one of those.
He's just a tank. He's a tank in the middle right there.
I know a center.
Um,
Speaking of centers, there's a coveted center in the NBA draft class that
I was just about to say
is drawing some eyes again.
Which is actually pushing eyes away from LaMelo, which I knew Wiseman was gonna go in the top couple. I
think we all did, but for some reason, people had him falling in their mocks and stuff. But
no, for the past 2 months, people have had him falling, and I'm like, there's no reason for him to be falling. I'm like, why would you have him falling? And then now, just that the draft's crazy enough, 2 weeks away almost. About 2. It's the 12th, right?
Something.
What day is it?
I think it might be. That sounds about right. It's around there.
I mean, just to stray off of that, going hand in hand. We've been talking about free agency here, and no one knows what day free agency. No one knows what day free agency starts. But
it's all right because guys are already on teams, so it doesn't matter. We don't even need a free agency.
Apparently, free agency has started in a way, and
that's what I'm meaning. Guys are already on teams without free agency happening, so I guess we just don't even need it.
Guys have signed with teams already before free agency has started, but all these contracts are undisclosed, and no one knows about anything really.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking up this draft day here. NBA draft 2020.
But where this is coming? Oh, it's the 18th.
Yeah, so we're about 20 days away.
Where this is coming from is now that the Hornets have joined the Wizards and the Wiseman hype. And also, I don't know why in the world it's happening because I don't want it to, but I keep seeing more and more stuff about LaMelo going to the Timberwolves, and I cry every time.
But at the same time, when you see all that stuff about LaMelo going there, you also see how high they are on Obi Toppin.
Yeah, but I feel like they're trading places, and it's going to LaMelo, and it's not feeling so good. What happened to Anthony Edwards? Just go back to Anthony Edwards, please. And it's moving it around, and now, I mean, obviously, if the Warriors and Hornets are in a war for Wiseman, then the Warriors get him because they're the second pick. So I would still take LaMelo on the Hornets, please.
So let's say okay. Let's say Anthony Edwards.
Hopefully.
Edwards.
Or Obi. Just anybody but LaMelo.
Okay. Let's take it here. Okay.
Take Vernon Carey. I don't care.
No, so let's say Obi, Wiseman. I can't think.
Then the Hornets have an interesting choice.
I can't think. What's his name? Edwards.
Yeah, they have an interesting choice between Edwards and LaMelo.
No, so I'm saying Obi, Wiseman, Edwards. Then that leaves the Bulls.
The Bulls get LaMelo, which
listen.
Oh.
The Bulls, they call up their friends up in Michigan, and they say, hey, we want to give Derrick Rose one last ride here. You guys need a point guard. You give us somebody. You give us a pick in the future. Derrick Rose and maybe somebody else. We'll give you this pick. You guys get your point guard of the future.
Yeah, give him the pick. I don't think they do that.
I know.
I would love that. But I don't think they would do that. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense to get D Rose back there, but they aren't necessarily a contender either.
Yeah.
So, I would say they could do that if they were a contender, but they aren't. And also, like, then you're picking who do you start, Kobe White or D Rose, and D Rose must come off the bench. But then if you take LaMelo, then who are you starting? LaMelo or Kobe White?
And Kobe White comes off the
issue
bench.
right there. And then like you just have two young guys that you're banking on. But at the same time, if the Pistons can muster it out, get Luke Kennard out of town for him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you said that or not, but
no, I said another player, but I was thinking Luke, but I didn't know if you
get
were Luke.
Get Luke in the 7th or whatever. Yeah, 7th. I think the Pistons have 8th, whatever.
7th or 8th.
I mean, unless they don't want Luke, and then you give him the pick, and then a future, sure, and somehow you keep Luke and get LaMelo, but.
And so say the Bulls are like, okay, we don't want you. We don't even want LaMelo.
Because I did say, I don't know if you're going to go here, but I did say a sign-in trade for the Pistons and Bulls before.
I didn't hear that, but
yours, or do you want me to say mine first?
I was gonna say, so Bulls are like, okay, we're not trading this pick. We're just drafting somebody, and they draft Vernon Carey. I don't know. They draft Vernon Carey.
They could, since my trade was going to involve a center, they could just go out and get Onyeka Okongwu.
Sure, I forgot about him. And then what I was going to say is what's making this even better. Cavs are next.
Then the Cavs take him.
Cavs take
Cavs
Obi.
Need one.
No, Cavs take Obi. They don't.
He was already taken
guard.
First.
They have Sexton and Garland. They don't need a point guard.
Yeah, they were going to trade Garland, but Obi was already taken first in this. You said.
Oh yes, shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's why. And then Onyeka Okongwu got taken. I mean, they could take
Okoro. No, Denny.
Yeah, we forgot about Denny. We actually messed up about Denny.
Yeah,
Denny. He could have went at any of those picks, and then like Okoro, the Cavs are high on because they need another wing defender, and that he can replace Kevin Love.
See, there's so many possibilities LaMelo could fall, but like the fact is he going to fall? And
if you can trade with the Cavs somehow and just hope, I mean, and even if you don't get LaMelo, you can get a guy like, I mean, I don't think Okoro's the answer because he's like another Stanley Johnson.
But you could get a guy like, okay, so say LaMelo goes top 3 or whatever. If you trade with the Cavs, you could get a guy like Denny, Obi, Okoro,
Okongwu.
Okongwu, yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Okongwu. You can get a guy like that. Not necessarily the flashiest guy, but like it's a guy that definitely could change your franchise around a little bit.
I saw that Okongwu can kind of shoot, but I'm like everybody else. Okongwu kind of gives Drummond vibes, and they already tried to build around Drummond by drafting him. And same thing like Okoro. I just feel like if he's known as a wing defender that doesn't score very often, it's just straight up Stanley Johnson. So you're kind of in trouble there. I mean, if you don't move, then you can safely take Killian Hayes if he's still there. Or
I know you say Hayes, and I like Hayes, but I also like Halliburton.
Really?
I like him. I don't know why. I think like
Killian Hayes is more complete. Everybody's high on Halliburton, but I mean, if somebody wants to mess around and take him in a little fall, sure, be my guest.
Like I'm not high on him because if Hayes is there, you take Hayes. But like, I don't know, Halliburton. Like I like his skill set.
I get that he's got like the tall, lanky frame and like can pass and stuff, defend, but like I don't see it translating that well. Because like, and now like you need a guy that can shoot at point guard sometimes. And I feel as though he doesn't shoot as well, and if he does, it's like a mid-range kind of guy, or like drive to the basket. So another Westbrook, just taller, that actually passes the ball.
I mean, Westbrook does too.
Well, yeah, when he needs his triple doubles outside, when he gets the 10 assists, he's done.
Two things I actually want to mention that are completely off topic here. Well, not really. The one is, but I was thinking like, okay, so obviously Pistons, they're not saying they want Blake Uptown, but he's on the trade block basically.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was thinking is, how mad would you be with a Gordon Hayward swap?
I wouldn't care because either way, it doesn't help either of the teams. I mean, maybe helps the Celtics, but it doesn't hurt the Pistons anymore because it's the same money.
Yeah, I know, but it gives the Pistons a score.
If you get a pick, if you get not even a lottery pick, just a first round pick out of it,
and then maybe you get that 14th pick too that the Celtics have, and then you can take another young guy.
I mean,
in a deep class,
or if it's like a future pick.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's not going to hurt the Pistons anymore because it's still a 1 year, $30 million deal like Blake has. So
yeah.
But I was also going to say that sign-in trade that was involving the Bulls.
Sorry.
Do you do it if you're the Bulls? And I mentioned this. I swear I mentioned it to you, but it must have been the other guys. Everybody wants him in town, but if you go big and you don't want to build around a center anymore, you sign and trade Christian Wood to the Bulls. And you get, I know what you're seeing right now. I just saw that too.
About the Lions?
Yeah. You sign and trade Christian Wood to the Bulls. You get the pick to try if LaMelo's still there. And you get like a guy like Wendell Carter, which I don't know if they'd give up just yet. Yeah. But they do have a few other young centers if you want one. And then that ensures that you get LaMelo again if he's there, or if the Bulls take him and trade him to you.
Yeah, wouldn't be bad.
And if they're willing to give up a Wendell Carter, I mean, I don't think he's that good. But I'm just saying, like, so it's not a logjam at center.
Yeah, and so then that gives the Pistons somebody.
Yeah, I'm saying like, if you give them Christian Wood, you get LaMelo and Wendell. I mean, shouldn't have an issue giving up Kennard then either.
And we're giving them the 7th pick, obviously. There too.
If you want, I mean, if not, then yeah, give them the pick and keep Kennard.
I think if you're getting Wendell, and this is just coming from that, they're gonna be like, oh, they're gonna play the high ball. They're gonna make us highball them.
Because neither Kennard or Wendell Carter are that good.
But what they're going to do is
Kennard's a little bit better. But
this is where you could even see, I know I say it, but Derrick Rose involved in the trade.
Yeah, that too.
And you could see him going there as a mentor to Kobe White.
If that's the case and the Bulls are going all in after never making the playoffs and think they're instant contenders.
No, what you could see them doing is, okay, we trade Rose, Wood, in the pick for what would be LaMelo, Wendell, and then we get somebody else small in the deal, like we get like we get somebody,
Yeah, and then there's the issue where how we had the Minnesota Timberwolves, then we'd have the Chicago Pistons, and the Pistons and Bulls don't like each other and all that kind of stuff going on.
Another thing I've been seeing is with you know how that whole D'Lo trade and everything, with so obviously D'Lo came to the Warriors from the sign and trade, KD going to the Nets, and then D'Lo went to the Timberwolves in that midseason trade. So the Warriors have next year's Timberwolves pick, and if it becomes a top 3, then that pick moves to the 2022 pick, and they get that as a lock. They automatically get that pick. So what I saw is saying by giving up KD, in a crazy reality, they could end up getting Imani Bates in 2022.
I'm telling you, the Warriors know what they're doing.
The Warriors are playing chess while we're playing checkers.
Yeah. And then that give them a core. Yeah, Steph and Clay, whatever. Then they have the core of Imani, Donkey, and JP, the Detroit boys.
Oh my
God.
God.
Detroit, but Imani. JP's not from Michigan. I might just say Michigan, but JP's not.
Yeah.
but they're ganging it up.
But Donkey's probably gonna be gone by then.
Yeah, I was gonna say Donkey's definitely gone by then.
Yeah.
And he'd be
But
hyping up, "Oh, my brother's here on my team."
That's just something I saw, and I thought that was really interesting. That by giving up KD in the long haul, they could get KD back, basically.
Yeah. I mean that'd be ideal. I
they're
did
playing
break the
3D
seal.
chess out here, or 3D chess.
They're playing everything.
While the rest of the league is playing tic-tac-toe.
I did break what I said I would never do.
Yeah.
And I did it for one guy. So I guess at this point I wouldn't mind doing it for others. But I'd get another Warriors jersey then.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised you broke down and got that Warriors jersey.
It's drippy. I'm not even gonna lie.
It is. I like the city jerseys.
And it's only because it's JP. I would have never gotten anybody else. I just hope he doesn't get traded this year.
Yeah, I guess
because I elected to get him over Duncan Robinson, and
I guess I'll say that Lions are looking like to be buyers at the trade deadline. Not like you care or know
because
anything.
they finally won a game.
2 in a row.
I saw people on Twitter saying, "Where are the people that wanted Patricia gone now?" And it's like the same people that wanted Patricia gone. They're so weird.
Yeah,
like, I mean, at some points I saw people saying to extend Patricia. It's just Lions fans are awkward to when they get one win, they think they're winning the Super Bowl, and also now that they have 2 wins, they think that they have the best coach in the league.
No, we're honestly, I forget what his name is. I always forget his name. The guy in the Pat McAfee show. He's a Lions fan, and he always says 10-6 in the playoff win, and that's all you can hope for as a Lions fan is 10-6 in a playoff win. What's his name here?
Why not just tank and get somebody better? They've been tanking their whole lives. Why not?
Evan Fox. Fox.
I knew it was something to do with an animal.
Yeah, Evan Fox. But because they have the shirts. They have where are the shirts? It's like it's not like Detroit versus everybody. It's like oh my god, I can't even think of the shirt.
There's the famous just one before I die shirt that pertains to the Lions.
Oh, no, it's This Is Our Year, the Motor City.
Yeah, that one.
I've low-key thought about copping a one. You can either get blue or black, and I've thought about copping a blue one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You'd have to go blue.
Yeah. Well, so no, if you go black, then you could be like, then you could go neutral and say, okay, this is our year, and you could go for the Tigers or you could say really for any team at that point, but.
We also forgot to mention during the NBA that Danny Green came out and said today that he's hearing that the vets will sit during start of the season, which is kind of weird because the Lakers are built on all veteran players. So I don't know what's going on there, and also that's not a good thing to say when free agency hasn't started. Like, yo, whatever free agents come in, like you're on your own, we're sitting. And also, Danny Green. Danny Green's the last guy that deserves to sit a game. He sat the whole playoff run.
He's the spokesman for the veterans.
No, I don't want to hear that. He said him and LeBron might be sitting. Danny Green sat out every game of the playoffs. He doesn't even be sitting out the games to start the season.
This is something that we saw coming because obviously I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but they're eyeing for NBA start on the December 22nd. Or December 22nd between then and then Christmas Day. They're eyeing for the NBA start. Mm-hmm. And this is something that you saw like before the restart even happened, that like if the season starts that early, you're going to see a lot of players that especially play deep into the playoffs. You're going to see them maybe sit out. Like obviously like the guys that didn't go are going to be literally like the freshest they've ever been. But then you also got to take into the consideration of they haven't played in how many months? And almost a year at that point. And then you gotta look at, okay, these guys are only a month or two out. They're game ready. They just took a break.
I was gonna say it's gonna be like AD would be the one that needed the rest and LeBron. Everybody else should be straight.
But
maybe Rondo, but that's about
it. You look at it in very weird, in a very different situation. Like, are the guys that had 8 months off going to be better than the guys that just played but got 1 or 2 months off that are still like game ready but had like one? It's a really weird situation.
But like Shaq's beefing with the wrong person on Twitter right now. He's beefing with Dwight. Like, beef with Danny Green, please. Like, make him
why is
figure
Shaq
it
beefing with
out.
Dwight?
Shaq said Dwight didn't deserve the ring because he didn't do anything. Neither did Danny Green. At least Dwight took out Jokic in the Nuggets series. Dwight was in the game and started just to be on Jokic and like trash talk him and get into his head and stuff. And that's what he did.
No,
And look, it worked.
Dwight honestly was in. I didn't watch every single game, but the games I watched, Dwight was in Jokic's head. He literally he would walk up to Jokic.
That's what he was here for.
Like he would just go like this.
Yeah, that's what they said. That's why Dwight even said like that's why I was starting was to go after Jokic. And that's exactly what he did.
It showed that yes, the Nuggets are good. They took him a couple games, but it showed that Jokic still has a little bit growing up to do. Obviously, he's a good player, and I feel like that's just how the Nuggets might. They're. I'll say Nuggets are winning in the next 5 years.
You know, outside of course we'll have a pick video later on.
Yeah.
But my early pick right here, just by saying this off the top of the dome, could change, could not, probably won't. Outside of saying, of course, LeBron is MVP.
Yeah.
Jokic for MVP
next year.
He's gonna make a comeback. He's gonna see what they did in the playoffs, see what he needed to do. MVP Jokic in the building. He was already the best center in the league.
And I'll say it now here too.
And the Nuggets don't have anybody to compete with besides the Lakers. Don't at me. In the West, that is.
Comeback player of the year, Michael Porter Jr.
Well, of course.
If he shows what he did.
If he starts, of course.
If he shows what he did during the bubble. But
or Alonzo. You know, Alonzo's always in there.
Yeah, Alonzo when he's bowling up on the Pistons, you know. When he's throwing lobs to Christian Wood and his brother.
Well, Christian Wood, I mean, you know, we just talked about that, but Wendell Carter and LaMelo and Jello.
Oh, no, Jello, no.
He's with OKC. You know, the guy with the Pistons came from OKC. He calls up Press. He say, hey, yo, give me Jello real quick. I'll give you a high five. Low-key,
we say, hey, LeVar, we need you to come on retirement.
You know, that too. I could see that because he could probably be better coach than Dwayne Casey.
No, I'm talking about playing wise.
I know that. I'm just saying the player coach also. Like, you know, Jello
like
and
Bill Russell out there.
Yeah, Jello and Melo have been in Detroit ever since the shutdown. So it's only right that they stay at home. You know, Tina's from Detroit, their mom. So it just really makes sense. Lonzo went to the hometown team, didn't work out. Let LiAngelo and LaMelo and, well, of course, Lonzo get traded to the second hometown team, which neither of them are actually from, but mom is, so that's all that counts.
Part of them is from there, you know. Part of them is from there, in a way.
You know, it would be the biggest meme. I know we're close to ending, but it'd be the biggest meme. I'll leave it at this: that LaMelo said on Ball in the Family a few years ago, when they were talking about Detroit, he thought Detroit was the state and Michigan was the city.
Makes sense.
So that's what happens there, because he said, "Oh, I thought Detroit was the state. Because my mom's from Detroit." That's how I found that out.
Yeah, that about sums up the Ball family right there. I feel like that about sums up how. Yeah,
that was peak LaMelo.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all we got for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys subscribe and drop a like, that would help us out a lot. And I think that's all. So we'll see you next Wednesday.